Never mind.
It would not be posh, I guarantee that.
Mine would
Hell
totally be
no.
posh.
Unless she just signed a contract and said you're not going to speak.
Maybe ginger. It'd
guys-
either be ginger
You
or
guys
scary
understand
for
the
me.
Spice Girls are definitely young enough to be Bob and I's daughters. So I don't really know about any of those.
Why are you
girls.
guys that
I
old?
wasn't really paying
What?
attention.
The Spice
to
Girls
them.
are like your fucking
I
age.
thought
dude.
they were your age, bro.
How old are the Spice Girls?
Us and them.
Can we get a
I guess
fact
they
check
were-
on this? How old the
they were
Spice Girls
18
are?
and okay.
Are we live?
Thanks, Jay.
Hello.
Well, no, I was going to ask. Maybe somebody can research for us and then
I don't know how old the
comment.
Spice Girls
Wait,
are.
I want you to answer your question because I kind of answered before you asked. Finish the
Which one are you
question.
picking?
How old is? Oh, I'm about to find
Did I
out.
guess what you were going to ask?
It's Victoria
yes, you
Beckham.
did.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure
Yeah.
she's in her 40s.
Yeah, you're doing. She probably is. Maybe late 30s, early 40s. Yeah, you're probably right about that.
I know I'm right.
He goes,
I
I
know
know,
I'm
right.
right.
My man, get him, Bob.
Damn, Bob.
No question. No
Stop
question.
being a dick, Bob.
I mean, David Beckham retired from
That soccer guy?
Europe, and
Yeah,
then he
the
played in the
the
U.S.
soccer
for
guy.
5 years, and
Football?
then retired, and
Yeah.
that was like 8 years ago.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. All right. Never mind.
Beckham's left foot. Of course I'm right.
I just feel old today. I don't know why.
You guys ready or what?
Yeah, man.
I thought we were going.
Yo, look at Sporty Spice is jacked.
Oh,
Look at that.
Wow.
That's terrifying.
Dang.
That's
Let's
Yeah,
rock
yeah,
and
I
roll.
Girl power.
All right, let's look at the. All right, so the Baby Spice, the youngest one,
she's 1 year younger than me.
1976.
1 year younger than me.
Really?
Yeah. I was
I'd
born in
still hit it,
75.
Tony.
I was born in 75, so.
Hey,
Sorry.
we're live. We're live. All right.
This is the shenanigans
If you
portion
guys,
of the show.
if you guys are catching a little bit of that tidbits, just
Am I
roll
supposed
with
to
it.
feel not okay about saying that on live?
Hey,
I feel fine about
hello, everybody. Welcome to the machine that's known as the Beer, Sports, and Shenanigans Show.
Yes, indeed.
I am Ryan, and this is my panel of
never been
esteemed
Ryan.
hosts. Well, today I want to be Ryan.
Okay,
you know?
all right.
So just let it go. This is the episode for the grandmas. So
Oh, it is?
yeah.
You should have told me that before I said all this.
Oh
Shit,
shit,
man.
my bad. This week's episode is going to be sponsored by mimosas. Fuck yeah! If you don't like mimosas, get the fuck out. These things keeping us evened out after a long weekend.
Yep.
Like I said, I am Ryan. This is the panel. Right next to me is the Bob. Say hi, Bob.
Hi, my name's Thomas.
Oh, sorry. And next to him is Chef. I can't wait to shave my motherfucking head, Tony. How are you doing, buddy?
One more week, baby. One more week. Hey, don't forget to pimp Bob's Bobcat wine over here.
Sorry. Yeah, we are sponsored by Mimosas and Bobcat Wines. That's
Yeah, right.
Bob's personal. I stomp my feet on the grapes in the bathtub wine. It's delicious.
Right. In the
It'll get you
bathtub.
drunk.
And when you think about it, you don't have to clean the bathtub because there's already soap in it when you take a bath.
just
Yeah,
fine.
yeah,
You-
yeah.
You just start putting the grapes in there right after the bath.
Oh yeah, the
You
soap,
know?
I can
soap scum totally.
I can totally attest to this wine, and it will get you
It's
drunk.
delicious.
It's,
I'm not gonna lie, I can attest to it also. It's fantastic, man. I'm
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for the Chardonnay, as you know well, because I always ask for the Chardonnay.
Yes. Well, actually, to your surprise, the bottle is yours to keep.
Oh,
Tony,
Yeah.
you
It's like a
get the
souvenir.
red.
Yeah, baby. Woo.
Rock and roll.
I drank a bottle of that one time and woke up naked with the front door of my apartment open. So that'll happen. And back to the game. At the end of the table here is the man, the myth, the motherfucking guy that keeps us going over here. Hank, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, I'm the guy that was about to stay in bed all day.
Yeah, I know. I was saying it kind of tongue in cheek, but I got to give you your dabs.
We're glad you showed up.
Yeah, he lets us use this place, so we have to keep him on the show.
Yeah, shameless plugs all day. Hosted by the Exchange over here.
Yeah.
You know.
So this
Quick
today.
disclaimer.
Oh yeah. By the way, we say a lot of swear words. If you don't like it, get the fuck off. So today we're gonna just do a real quick recap of things that happened in the past week. I know in the NHL there's a lot of stuff that's Tampa keeps still just climbing up the boards. Boston, Washington, these guys in the last 10 games they're gone like 8-2, 9-0-1. I mean. In the NHL, it's going to be, it's kind of par for the course. Same teams are going to still be climbing.
How many games left in the regular season?
10 to 12, depending on their schedule.
That's the same with the NBA, pretty much.
Yeah,
I think, right?
they pretty much start at the same time. They start the playoffs around the same time.
Yeah.
The championship
And then they
will be
finish in, like,
will be in
fucking June
June.
or
Yep,
something.
yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. So it's kind of weird because I get why they're not direct competitors. A lot of people that watch NBA don't also watch that much hockey, but some people that are huge slappies in both, like me, watch a lot of both. So. It works, I guess. I don't know.
Absolutely.
So, on the opposite end of it, last week in the Central in the NHL, the Winnipeg, Nashville, St. Louis, these guys can't figure out who wants to win in the Central. The playoffs are going to be interesting. I have a little segment about the playoffs starting today, but I'll save that for later. So, what else we got in the past week? What else did we see last week, boys?
A lot of NCAA college regular season wrap-ups. Looks like LSU ended up winning the SEC overall regular season title. Who we got? Virginia won, Michigan State won, Kansas State and Texas Tech took a share of the Big 12 title. First time in 15 fucking years that Bill Self couldn't manage to get that Big 12 title, but it's all right. We lost 4
Fuck 'em.
starters, so it happens. Fuck them, That's we got a lot to talk about in college basketball. There's a few teams coming in.
March Madness coming up, boys.
We got
Yeah,
we
buddy.
got some great stuff coming up.
Yeah, buddy.
Can't wait to lose
week-
all my money.
Last week, just everybody wrapped it up, and you had a good UNC Duke game. Carolina ended up
Yeah.
pulling
Yep.
that one out.
Yep.
I wish Michigan would just be better all the
You know,
time.
yeah.
It's the
That was
up
a
and
little
down stuff
disappointing.
kind of is
And
driving me
here's
crazy.
the one thing that I always have a problem with. I say, well, they're young. Every fucking
They're all
team in
young.
college is young. They're all under 21, 22 years old,
I agree
It's
with
a
that.
hard argument to say, well, they're a young team,
Yeah.
especially at this point in the season. That's irrelevant now. These kids have been playing 30 games together. They're primed. They're ready to go. And if they're losing,
season for sure.
yes, to lose at home or on the road is one thing. Losing at home, man, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Tennessee losing to Auburn on the road.
Especially when
that's
some of
kind
these,
a bad
I mean,
loss.
college arenas are fucking nightmares. Some of these places to play if you're on the
Oh,
road.
man.
I mean,
Yeah,
kids are brutal.
They are.
I mean,
and alumni are brutal.
yeah,
Everybody-
that's.
yeah.
These student sections are wild.
Oh,
I mean,
they are.
it's crazy.
It's insane.
Speaking of which, Kansas won their 8th undefeated season at home. Is that what that?
No,
that was?
20th undefeated
20th
season.
undefeated.
In the history of the program, the winningest program in college
Who,
basketball.
who are those
Oh,
guys?
he said unabashedly.
Right.
Yeah.
But they still ended up. They beat Baylor. Woohoo, Baylor.
Baylor.
Yeah, it was kind of a meaningless
game,
game. It
though.
was still fun
It
to
was a
watch. It was good. Yeah. And
All right.
we'll talk a little bit more about Kansas here in a few minutes. But
All right.
yeah.
What do you got, Hank? What do you got for
I'm
last
still
week?
a little bit distracted by looking at these NHL standings again. Tampa Bay is still crushing it so hard. I mean, they're 50. They're up by 50 goals in the differential.
Yeah, that's
against
crazy.
the next team, or 49. I'm sorry, the next team down, Boston, of course. I'm just.
What, Boston has like 93 points and Tampa has 108?
Let's see. I just can't.
108
believe that.
to 89.
Yeah, 100. Well, let's see. 108.
Yeah. Oh,
Tampa
93, there we
Bay's
go.
got 108.
There's-
Next team is Boston. They got 93. And I'm sorry.
Tampa would have to just stop playing to let everyone catch up for the next
It's-
10
yeah,
games to
it's-
get anyone to get close.
That's
to
absolutely
it.
radical. All right. Well, anyway, back to the NBA. I got to do it. I got to just keep talking shit about LeBron. It's not
Poor
just LeBron.
LA.
It's LA in general. It's LA in general. Everything's kind of hitting the fan.
The
I'm
Lakers,
kind of
of course.
scrolling back and forth between their previous games. Look at the game with the Clippers. They lost another one. I mean, and they just keep fucking losing.
And now Ingram and Ball are out for the year. I
Yeah,
see.
they're
Shut
out
down
for the year, and
Ingram
it's-
and Ball.
I mean, everything. I don't.
So is it just LeBron left playing? Is he a one-man team now?
I guess
They're going to bring back Peja.
So I don't even know what the hell to say about this. I mean, but one thing I do know is that looking at the Spurs are finding a way to stay right on the edge. But then again, you've got a lot of cushion when you look at those standings. San Antonio is over the next seed down by like 5 or 6 games. So I'm pretty sure San Antonio is going to be able to maintain that thing. But dude, look at that playoff picture, man.
Yeah, that's
You
Yeah,
got
it's-
San Antonio going into Golden State for the first round of the playoffs if things hold the way they are right now. But you got LA right above San Antonio by a game, and
Hey,
I'm
guys.
starting to think that maybe the Clippers could slip a little bit. And if they keep playing LA, they're not going to. I mean, the Lakers are not going to slip.
I want to say something here. We keep talking about LA. We keep talking about the Clippers. Look at Toronto, 47-19
Yeah.
with the
I love
addition of
Toronto.
freaking.
Yeah,
I love Toronto.
with
Your old
Kawhi
San
Leonard.
Antonio
And
boy,
all they
yeah.
did last year
Look
was
at
that
Denver.
they
Look at Denver at 43 and
Oh, I
22.
love it.
That's
Hey,
insane, you know?
Denver, I used to love them boys, but Toronto, all they did was this in the offseason. They got Kawhi, and then they fired their head coach that had him outperforming.
Yeah.
All for the past
kidding.
2 or 3 years. Dwayne Casey, I think his name is. He ended up in Detroit. He's got Detroit, whatever. But Toronto,
mediocrity again, yeah.
Toronto is still in. They fire the coach, and this new coach comes in. He's got him right there in the mix. I would love to see Toronto make a run. I would love it.
I mean, I think that they probably will, man. I mean, you're
They went to
looking
the
at a really
conference
strong
finals
team.
last year, right? Did they make the conference finals?
No, they ran into, was it the Clip? Or no, Cleveland?
Yeah.
Knocked them out last
That's
year.
what
I
I'm
don't remember
saying.
what round it
I
was,
think
though.
that might have been the finals.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
I don't know.
But they way
Yeah,
outperformed.
either way,
you know.
but I would love to see
Yeah.
Toronto make a run. I think that city deserves something like that. As long as it's not the fucking
Because
Maple
we really
Leafs.
give a shit about what happens in Canada.
I
Fuck
like
Canada.
I like the Raptors. I do.
Sorry, Canada.
I don't
Fuck
like
Canada.
I don't like the Blue Jays or I don't know. I don't really mind the Blue Jays, but I definitely don't like the Maple Leafs. Fuck the Maple Leafs. All right.
Well, there's that. So there's that.
What do you got, Bob?
Well, I'm going to wait till we get to the basketball because there's a lot of basketball to talk.
Oh,
There's
back
a
to
lot of
back to
Coming up,
NCAA. Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay.
NCAA.
Okay.
Tony and I are gonna pair up so we get twice as long.
I got you.
So we get twice as long.
That's right.
So for coming up this week, I wanted to real quick hop back into the NHL and just point this out. If the playoffs started today, some of the first round matchups, because I dig this type of thing. Tampa would be up against Columbus, who's the second wild card. This Columbus, they went all in at the trade deadline to try to get all these players. These guys, I don't know if they're going to make a run or not. After they got all those players, they went like 0-4, 0-5 right after the trade deadline.
Jeez.
So that doesn't look good for the team. It's not a good look. Big matchup in the first round would be Washington and Pittsburgh again meeting like in the first round. That's like I don't know if the NHL wants those guys meeting that early because that's going to be a battle. Boston, Toronto, New York. That's going to be a good one. New York and Carolina, whatever.
Hey, real quick, going back to that Washington Pittsburgh round.
Yeah.
So I'm reading here that out of the 3 times they've played, they split and then they went to overtime for the last one for a total of 13 goals.
Yeah.
My God, dude.
Yeah.
October. Oh no, that was the first one. The first time they battled it out, they went to overtime.
Every time it's like almost every time the past 5 years they've met in the playoffs and it's been a battle. Like Pittsburgh's usually gotten the upper hand, but last year Washington did, and Ovi got his cup. And he celebrated like a true Russian for the rest of the year.
Yeah, which was hilarious.
Yeah.
Which was hilarious.
So, and then in the West, you got San Jose would be up against Minnesota in the first round, the Jets against Dallas, Nashville against St. Louis, and Calgary versus Vegas. That would be a doozy. I would love to see that matchup actually come to fruition. So anyway, that would be at the playoffs start today. Like I said, those are some intriguing matchups. Coming up this week. Also potential playoff rounds, but these are regular season games. Tampa and Toronto on Monday. Washington again with Pittsburgh on Tuesday. And Boston and Winnipeg on Thursday. Those are all tune-in games, must-see TV. And then real quick, I want to say RIP to terrible Ted Lindsay. Passed away this past week. He's a great Detroit Red Wing. He died at 93 years old. His numbers hanging in the rafters there at Little Caesars Arena. RIP, terrible Ted Lindsay.
Here's the terrible Ted.
And then also on the injury front, Gabriel Landeskog for Colorado out 4 to 6 weeks. That's a big hit to a team trying to make a playoff push. So that's it for the NHL, boys. What do we got?
right.
What else we got?
Hank, you want to?
We're all basically just biding our time until we start talking about March Madness, aren't we?
Yeah, kind of.
Pretty much. There's some good NBA stuff. going on.
Everybody, Xavier in the
Look at
house.
that. X showed up, my man.
Yo.
There he is. Let's see. So anyway, so as far as so I want to talk a little bit more about the NBA playoff picture.
Sure. Let's
So
talk
we
about
got
it.
we've got. So real quick, I just want to get the Spurs out of the way.
Yeah.
So I told you before that I'm real nervous about them going in.
So does Golden State. If it looks like that. Yeah.
So
Zing.
I don't see San Antonio having much of a chance if they start with Golden State, obviously. But if you swap them out and they start playing against Denver, I think San Antonio might have a chance against the Nuggets. They might. If they.
I
They're
can,
only
I
they're
can
only
see it.
one
I can
game
see
out.
that.
I know.
Getting that
I know.
spot,
And so I
so,
mean,
yeah.
if San
All you gotta
Antonio
do
can
is
pick
make
up
the
a game
dance,
there-
right? And then
Well, they're in, but I mean, if you make the dance and you play against the dancing champion, I mean, it's going to be a tough dance.
You got
I mean,
to get off the chair, you know.
So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that you're going to end up probably looking at the Bucks moving pretty far. I mean, they're absolutely crushing it. They're killing it. But I
The
mean,
Greek
but
freak.
how about the Celtics? Do you think a game like they had against the there he is a game like they had against
Boston.
LA, which was basically, I mean, you're playing against a crippled team and they knocked them down by about 15 points or so.
Yeah.
But I like the Celtics a lot moving into this, man. What do you think? What do you think?
I mean, I early on in the season, I liked Boston's shots. I thought they looked good, but like I didn't know that they particularly looked like they were going to win it. But I thought that could be, after seeing the way LA faltered and stuff.
Do you think they'd beat the 76ers in the first round if that holds?
No way. No way.
Well, hey man, there you go. Well,
Hey, you know what kind of pisses me off about the NBA every now and then? When you get a number 8 seed like Miami at 31 and 34, they're below 500.
Hey,
and they
Dwayne
got
Wade's
them in the
playing out of his
fucking
mind
playoffs
this
right
year.
now. I'm just saying, you get a below 500 team in the playoffs, that pisses me off.
Dwayne Wade deserves another run. Fuck
Dwayne
it,
Wade
let him go.
deserves everything, and he's already got it.
One of the
man.
most classiest players in the game.
Absolutely,
I love it.
love
I love
the guy.
Dwayne Wade.
Love the guy.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
But I just that.
And isn't his wife Gabrielle Union?
Huh?
Isn't he married to Gabrielle Union?
I'm not mad at him if he is.
Yeah, she's pretty hot.
Sounds great.
She's pretty
Yeah,
hot.
Dwayne.
No big deal.
So,
Get it,
all right,
Dwayne.
so Toronto. I know I don't want to spend too much time talking about the playoffs right now, but I mean, you got a team like Toronto. We were talking about it a little bit before, right?
I love
You gotta
Toronto.
like
I mean,
him.
Kawhi Leonard, Marc Gasol. There's a handful of guys on that team that are looking pretty strong. I mean, do you see anything that could possibly bring Toronto down? I mean,
If this bracket holds true, I don't see Indiana, Detroit, or Brooklyn having anything to do with Toronto.
of course
Easy on-
not. So
easy on my
that's
Detroit guys.
since Toronto. I mean, dude, out of the second seed, Toronto's just going to tear up that half of the bracket, and then they're just going to end up there playing Milwaukee.
Hey, would you, real quick, a little off topic, would you be happy for Kawhi if he won it this year?
Honestly, no. I mean, all right. So all right. Let's
Sorry, Kawhi.
let's talk
Hank
about that for a
says,
second.
"Fuck you."
So yeah, all right. So here's
Do you blame Kawhi for the departure?
All right, Kawhi. This is straight from me. I got nothing but love for you. I was about to buy your jersey.
Dang.
I was right there, man. My Duncan jersey's retired. I put my Duncan
Got a
jersey
lot of
back
use
on
out of
because
that
your
one.
punk ass went somewhere else. And you know why? Because you didn't want to play the game. Oh, his leg was hurt, right?
Yeah,
His leg was
hamstring.
hurt.
Yeah.
It was the
I think it was
hamstring,
hamstring, right?
He needed about 15 different doctor's visits before he could actually make a decision, and his decision was basically to not be a productive member of the team whatsoever. So he went somewhere else, and I got a lot of respect for him for trying to get his. But at the same time, I mean, he
Made
could
a lot
have
of
had,
money
he could have
sitting
had
on the
everything
sidelines.
on one of the greatest franchises ever to play any sport, frankly.
Whoa,
San
whoa,
Antonio
whoa,
Spurs.
whoa, whoa.
For a team that was ready to, a team and a fan base that has nothing really else in San Antonio
Yeah.
except,
I mean,
well, now
he-
they got AAF, but
I mean,
they had nothing else.
Yeah.
Not
But this guy was a god there after he was MVP.
I don't understand.
A few
I don't
years
understand.
ago. Like,
I know that there's a legitimate argument for why he wanted to go, and I know that's
the way
case. I'm
he
not
did
trying
it,
to
though,
discount that.
if everything that we hear in the media is true, that he was basically just being like,
He was being a punk.
Yeah, just being a
he
poor-
wanted a team
poor-
to revolve
poor
around
teammate,
him
yeah.
instead of him revolve around a system.
Yeah.
He didn't want to play on the system anymore, so fuck him. I don't know if I'm super stoked about him having a chance, but I think he will, and I think it's going to be Milwaukee that's going to push him back.
I like Philly, man.
No shit?
I like
You
Philly.
like- you like Philly
Toronto,
over
and I love you,
Milwaukee?
Kawhi.
I don't know.
I got no beef with you, Kawhi.
We might have to throw down.
I got beef with you, Kawhi.
We might
Just a
throw
little
down a
bit.
Hamilton on that one. I don't know.
Ooh.
I do like Philly. Yeah.
Well, hey.
So
Well, then, hey.
plus my main man from Kansas, Joel Embiid, is there. So what's not to like
Well,
about
we only have a
gigantic
month, so
7-footer.
I promise I won't bring the playoff bracket back up until the playoffs are actually coming.
Okay.
But dude, I'm just getting excited because I mean I don't know about you, man, but I pay more attention with the NBA once the playoffs are getting close. I think everybody does.
Absolutely, man. Who
And
cares
I mean
about the NBA
the
unless it's
first about
Christmas Day?
60 games, 60, 70 games or so, I just don't give a shit.
I watch Christmas Day because there's nothing else to watch. It's the only thing on Christmas Day. Is
Right.
the NBA.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right,
That's exactly right.
all right,
That's
all
exactly
right.
right.
Let's steer this ship into some NBA or NCAA
Oh
basketball.
yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
The main
Let's,
event.
let's right the ship here and let's
Bam.
talk about what everybody's excited about. March motherfucking Madness.
Woo!
I
March
cannot
motherfucking
wait,
Madness.
Cannot
Yo.
wait
Yeah,
to
buddy.
bet on every fucking game.
I can't either. I used to throw down 100 a game when I was in
I heard
Jersey,
that.
and
You were
and
a degenerate, my friend.
It was insane. I was a degenerate gambler.
You
You're
were an
absolutely
absolute
right.
degenerate.
Absolutely right. All day
2
long.
points.
Not doing that
2
this year.
points. No, call that
glad
one a
you
three.
got help.
That's a 3.
Not doing that this year. Hey
you
Bob,
got
what
it.
do we got, man? Let's talk about the 4 teams that are in right now. We are not even at the regular conference. Every game just ended this week. There's conference tournaments going on. We got little guys. We got 4 little guys already in the tournament. One of them we just watched. Liberty just beat, what is it? Lipscomb.
Yes.
Lipscomb.
Who?
You had to root for
Lipscomb.
Liberty. That's like a USA name.
Yeah.
You had to go.
So we got the Atlantic Sun Conference. We got Liberty in there. The Big South, Gardner Webb. They beat. I can't remember who they beat this morning.
Oh.
But we also watched that game. It was anyway.
Started with an R.
Yeah. Oh, Radford. They beat
Yeah,
Radford, who
Fucking
actually,
Radford.
Radford actually won their conference title, their regular season conference title. So that's a big win for
That was
Gardner
a
Webb.
little bit. It was number 1
Yeah.
against number 2, so it wasn't that big a deal. Oh no.
No,
they were,
no.
They were
that-
number
it
8.
yeah, it was
They
more
came
than
up
the
there.
6 and 2 or
I'm
something.
thinking
yeah.
of the other one, the
Yeah.
Lipscomb score.
The Missouri Valley Conference, man, whatever. We got Bradley in there, 20-14 overall
what?
for the season. Missouri Valley Conference.
Oh,
Bradley College, by the way.
But then you look at the Ohio Valley Conference. Murray State, they won, right? So Murray State's record 27-14. They're exactly as good as Wofford, who's in the top 25 nationally ranked.
What?
Record-wise, anyway. I know
Yeah,
conference.
I got you.
but-
I got you.
I mean, look
we
at
got
Belmont.
27-4, 27-4. These guys,
yeah,
they
that's
may be a bracket buster, Murray State. I have
Okay,
not seen
all right,
them play
that's
this year,
that's
but
our Wichita
they
State
may,
Shockers.
they may very well be not a George Mason. They're not going to the
Or
Final
George
Four.
Mason.
I'm just saying
Yeah,
they
they
they,
won't make
they,
Final Four,
they
but
could
they're
be
up
they could
there.
be a
It's
12,
always-
13, 14, 15 that beats.
It's always
Yeah,
George
they're
Mason
11
or-
team. They're 11 games strong in a streak
No,
right now.
no. Wait, I just want to point out to everybody. Hank just said 11. So that's all.
That happens.
Man, I told you I'm working at like half speed today.
So you heard it here first. Wofford, I believe. Who was it?
No,
That's-
Murray State.
Murray
Murray
State.
State.
Murray State.
You
Could
know
be
what?
a potential bracket buster.
Let's make a bet.
Look out
Oh, yeah.
and plan
Let's make a
accordingly.
bet. All right.
What you got?
So what do you think? How far do you think Murray State could actually go?
Wofford by 11.
Oh, they're Sweet 16. They conceivably could be
God
Sweet
damn
16.
it! I was trying to say they've beaten 11 teams straight.
I would say Murray State wins a game in the tournament.
Okay.
We
Better
don't
question.
even know where they're
Okay,
gonna be
I thought we were
Hang
going to go
on,
further.
hang on,
than that.
hang on.
Well, we don't know if they're going to be a 13, 14, 15, 16. They're going to be down there, but they're going to. We don't. I mean, if you're a 13 seed, you can get to the Final Four. George Mason was a 13 seed and went
Better
to the fucking
question.
Final Four. You know?
Where the freak is Murray State?
I think it's
That's
like
a good question.
Indiana.
Where the fuck is
right?
Murray
I think it's in Indiana.
Oh.
Well, it's in the Ohio Valley Conference, so it's
Yeah.
got to be in one of those
All right.
stupid.
If it's
states
in
over
Ohio,
there.
then
Yeah.
fuck that.
Then fuck boy.
Anyway, moving on.
But I like it. I love bracket busters. I love shit like that. I don't
just-
love it when it busts my bracket, but
I'm
you know.
excited to see 4 teams already
in
in the
Kentucky.
tournament. We got more today.
It's in Kentucky.
There
It's
we
in
go.
Kentucky.
All right.
Oh, yeah, you got to
Fuck
go there.
Kentucky, by the
All
way.
right. For those of you building your brackets, I'm going to give you my number one.
Here we go.
Right.
Hey, coming in hot off the press, boys.
Yeah. Gonzaga, of course, is a number one.
Clearly.
UVA's got to be a number one.
Yep.
UNC, I think,
I
made themselves a
don't
number
see any
one
way
by
they're
beating
not a
Duke
number
twice
one.
this year, even though
Agreed.
Duke was shorthanded. We'll let that go. Tennessee lost. Therefore, Kentucky won. I think Kentucky's the fourth number one.
And,
to be honest.
Kentucky.
And again, back to this craziness about LSU being the season
Yeah.
season
Champion.
champion. It's going to depend on the tournament. Tennessee, LSU, Kentucky, whoever wins that tournament, I think will be the other number one seed.
Is Selection
But-
Sunday next week?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
But the one thing we have to remember is, let's say Michigan State wins their conference tournament, they might bump up to a 1, Bob. You know? I mean,
True.
they-
Michigan
one,
State
Bob.
did pull off a
Oh.
big win yesterday.
Yeah.
Came from behind and
Yeah.
pulled that one out.
You know, so
Michigan
they're-
and Michigan State, man.
I
They've been bouncing back
your
and
top
forth all
three
year.
I think your top 3 are a lock. I think that 4 spot's wide open
Yeah.
right now.
Can I actually get something? I know this is a little bit off the wall, but what do you think about Houston? They're 10-1
they're not-
away. I mean, if you think that they could actually move around a little bit?
I like
think
Texas
they're.
Tech, if we're talking about Texas teams.
Well, Tech, no doubt, of course.
I actually think Houston could be a surprise too.
They are.
I really,
by the
I mean,
way.
'cause,
really
dude,
I've got
they-
that on
they-
my list.
all
Yeah,
right.
they're
They
going to
do-
be as a bracket
ahead, yeah.
breaker. Put them in there to win and go further than you think they're going to go.
Yep.
All right.
Nevada also, man.
You guys can
Yeah,
rewind
you know.
this episode.
Nevada's
Yeah.
28-3, and then granted they haven't played anybody, but you know,
Here's some other of my sleepers that I think you ought to take for a might be an upset. Who knows what
Yeah,
they're
if
ranked,
you're-
but-
if you're on
but-
the fence on a couple
but
of
if you're
them.
on Butler
Butler,
and Creighton, both are always
Yeah, Butler.
the
Did
first
you say
round.
Butler and Creighton?
yeah,
yeah,
they
yeah.
always win first round
Yeah.
games. So regardless of what the ranking is or status, just pick them to win the first game anyway, and then after that, use your brain.
Yeah, or just do what I do and throw darts at the board. Seems to work sometimes. I don't know.
Right. Some
What
other
else?
guys you might like. Number 2s, I got Duke as a number 2 because Zion's coming back. I think
Oh, he
gonna,
is.
He's going to play in the tournament, and so we'll get to see what they do.
At some point,
Yeah, exactly.
is he
He's
going to start the
oh,
tournament?
Zion's, no, he's going to play in the
Yo,
ACC
Taco
Yeah,
Bell,
the
tournament.
7'6".
tournament.
Yeah, dude, just-
Yeah.
That's one tall dude.
We're
He's
going to get there here in a minute.
So
This kid's
Duke,
crazy.
you got to watch. I got them as a number 2. I've got Michigan State as a number 2. I got LSU as a number 2, and I got Purdue as a number 2.
All right.
Purdue, I think
tied
you're
for-
right on Purdue, man. I think
Yeah.
you're right there with it. I don't, it's funny. We're not talking about the Big 12 in the top 2 seeds,
really not?
because Texas Tech, Kansas State, and Kansas, they all beat each other up a little
Yeah.
bit. I mean, Kansas clearly got
a little
the
rough.
ass end of the deal on
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But yeah, I'll tell you one
It's
team,
tough sledding down there.
one
you know?
team I have for the NCAA tournament, and the one thing that we talked about a couple of weeks ago was the lack of center help across the board, across the league.
Yeah.
University of Central Florida has this dude named Taco Fall. He is 7'6". He's got
Nice.
an 8-foot plus wingspan. He's gigantic. Xavier and I
about
watched
as
him
long
play
as
one
my
day.
truck.
Looks like Manute Bull's fucking son, man. I mean, he
Right.
really does. He's giganto. He's a what do we say? Is he a senior? I can't remember. I think he's a junior or senior. So this kid's played 3 years already. They're ranked. They're 25th in the nation. UCF could do something as a 4-5 seed, something like that.
Right.
They might be one of those 5 seeds that says "fuck you, number 12." I'm not taking that curse. I'm moving right on. So that's a team I like to watch.
So that dude, that tall dude, he's got his elbow in the rim and his hang down touching the court.
Pretty much.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
dude.
Pretty much. Yeah. he's just a massive individual.
I just
That's
say
crazy.
he's
You know,
a goal
the
to
very
see him
first
on that.
sentence, or the second sentence in Wikipedia on this cat is he is one of the tallest living people in the world.
That's amazing.
And he's we get to watch him.
Yeah, man. So you just up and down the top 25. There's some fun teams to watch. You got Buffalo at 28-3 for the season. Cincinnati's up and down, but they're still ranked 20th. You know, Whiskey,
Buffalo's interesting.
Yeah, I know. Nova's in there. Maryland. I don't really have any faith in Maryland. Never have. They're just kind of hot and cold.
I almost
big
got
game,
peed on by
but
somebody when I was
they
in
don't
Baltimore.
Pull it out in the
And
big game.
I'll be honest.
Someone peed on
fuck
you?
Florida State.
he almost
fuck
did.
Virginia Tech, and fuck Marquette. I don't like any of those teams, man.
No.
They can just.
And
they're a
Villanova's
wash.
falling
What
off.
do you think about
Marquette
Kansas
say to you?
State?
Oh, Kansas State. Those purple pussies. I tell you what.
Oh, whoa.
Don't bring them up.
Yeah.
Villanova's
Whoa.
lost 3 of the last 5 games, so yeah, they're going the wrong way.
Yeah,
don't
Villanova,
pick them.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. But they're. I mean, this is. Simply
How about
the top
Marquette? Oh,
25.
are you already talking about
I
Marquette?
didn't talk about them. I just don't like them.
Do you think that they can pick up any momentum at all? It seems like they're already
If
kind
D
of.
Wade goes back and plays point guard, yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, then they're in. Boom, Final Four. Yeah, not a
Yeah,
problem,
but
Bob.
no.
Yep.
I don't think Gonzaga's going to do anything. They suck.
No, Gonzaga's
I
the
don't
team.
either, man.
by the way.
Horrible.
They're going to be the overall number 1 seed.
Yeah.
Their white boys can shoot.
I still can't believe that LSU won the fucking SEC champion or
They
regular
all
season. I can't.
all
I
of
can't
them
believe
are 80% free throw shooters, so don't foul
Yeah.
them. They're all
Damn right.
17 of them on the bench.
What about Wolford? Did we talk about that?
Wofford, yeah.
Wofford.
Wofford.
I've not
Sorry,
seen them play
Wofford. No,
a
yeah,
game,
that's right. I'm
but-
sorry.
But
Tony.
at
Yeah.
27-4, I mean,
Yeah.
who knows what they can do?
Well, shit. I mean, they've
All right.
only won 19 games straight.
Again,
That's the
whereas-
hottest win
For-
streak. Oh, except for Gonzaga.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey.
Houston's another one. They've only lost 2 games all year. They won today.
Houston-
Or-
Houston-
by the
That's
way.
what I'm saying. I mean, and
Yesterday,
they're
I think.
killing it at the away games too. But anyway.
Hey, so just so you guys know, we are going to be talking a lot of more March Madness next week too.
Oh boy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Next
This
week-
is-
next
this is,
week-
uh,
next
we're-
week
you're
our
gonna get your
broadcast is
fill,
gonna be
I
on
promise.
St. Patty's Day. We're gonna be throwing it up.
Yeah,
guys.
you're gonna get your
Please
fill.
make sure you
But-
watch next week. It is all bracket day. We're gonna do a live bracket announcement the day of at 5:00 Sunday.
Yep.
When the brackets come out,
Tony's going to have a shaved head.
Oh, I'm gonna be
Tony's
beautiful.
got a shaved head.
Finally, we'll
I'll
get
do whatever I want.
Yeah,
X. Don't
yeah,
you wave
on
your
that
finger.
day.
at me.
Finally, we'll get rid of the toothpicks that are
You're
poking
damn right.
out.
I'm gonna be a beautiful
Starting to
human
look
being
like
next
Pinhead
Sunday.
over here.
I don't have to. I don't. It
Kinda looks like
actually,
Charlie
St. Patty's
Brown.
Day.
Yeah, get rid
If
of
I
the
get through half
cowlick.
the day,
Get
fuck
rid of
you.
the cowlick.
Yeah. Nah, it's not the
Honestly,
day
I
after
would have
kids.
rather have seen Xavier.
We all
with
would
the
have.
vice
We
versa.
all would.
honestly.
My mom.
We all agree
My
with that.
mom is down here for spring break. She came into brunch this morning. I walked in the door. She didn't recognize me because of my fucking hair and my face.
Yeah.
My own mother did not recognize
mom
me.
did not
That's a
recognize
sad
Hi,
day. That's a sad day.
I'm here.
Didn't recognize or didn't claim. We're not
Fuck
sure
me,
yet.
She's
man.
like, I know my son. He wouldn't walk around looking like
wouldn't be
that.
so-
She
foolish.
said, I saw your face, and then you turned around. I'm like, oh, that's not Tony.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom.
Awesome.
Love it. All right, so we're gonna switch gears here and jump
Yeah.
into our news and shit. So what I want to talk about, just because I think it's one of the biggest stories in the game right now, is Antonio Brown.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shite!
What? Why?
These guys. I mean, it's hard to not look at Pittsburgh and be like, the fuck is going on
Oh,
there?
wait. Oh, all right, wait. Who has a better record next year, Pittsburgh or Oakland? Now that's a question.
I still think Pittsburgh will,
Pittsburgh
but
will,
I think
but they'll regret it.
yeah, I think when you you let the guy that led the league in touchdowns last year, who's in his prime
Go for
and
trade
still
picks.
still
Or draft
under
picks.
contract, you let him go for a 3rd and 5th round pick, and then you retain $21 million of his salary. You're basically paying him
That's
to
the part
play
that gets
against
me.
you.
That's the part that gets me.
What
WTF.
happened?
WTF
What
up there.
happened
I
here?
can't wait to see the schedule.
And I understand the market wasn't there. People were either turned off by his antics or whatever it was. But he's, like I said, he led the league in touchdowns last year.
I still don't understand why a team allows a prima donna player to dictate what their decisions are. If you want to play the game of football, get your ass out on the field and play. You play for me, you play for them. Why the hell would they get rid of this guy just because he has an attitude? Fuck that shit.
He handcuffed Pittsburgh, though. He was upset by Big Ben or whatever it was.
Is he going to sit the fuck out? Okay, so here's the deal. Is he going to ride the fucking bench all the 2019,
and get
2020
paid $30 million a year, probably?
Well, guess what he's doing now? Now they're paying him $21 million, and he's
To
not
play
riding the
against
bench.
them.
And he's to play against them.
$20 million to play against us for next year.
Insane.
And that counts against Pittsburgh's
Honestly,
cap. That's
yeah.
money they can't
Insane
spend.
decision.
Yeah, I mean,
Not a good
all right.
trade.
So what does it say about Mike Tomlin?
Well, shit.
What does it say about
It,
Big
it,
Ben?
No,
it
changing
says he
players
doesn't have
now?
control over that
It
locker room
says
and
he
control
doesn't
over
have
that team.
control, and
That's what
he's
it says.
Mike Tomlin is known for being a direct, straightforward, tough guy. He's going to look at you wide-eyed, and he's going to tell you what he thinks. And somehow or another, he can't keep track of this guy. I mean, like it reminds me of Parcells with T.O. You guys remember that? I mean, Parcells, he calls him the
Little bit.
player.
Yeah,
You know, I
the
mean, like,
player.
you remember that? I mean, like
Sitting on his porch doing sit-ups.
But you know what?
Yeah,
The player still played.
Yeah.
well, the
exactly.
player still played, and at least he worked out in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And I think that
But he politicked his way out of places. I mean,
You're
he did
right,
the same
you're right.
thing. But I mean, this is crazy. But just think about this: a third and fifth round pick when Oakland had a litany of picks from all the stupid trades they made
Oakland's
before
going to
that.
be a powerhouse next year,
And-
man. I mean, Derek
Well, they're
Carr's
going to
gonna
make
be
a
able
lot
to
of
throw
picks. I
somebody.
know
It'll be
that.
fine.
But
Kansas City will still win the division.
this is the third and fifth round pick, and you retain $21 million.
Do they move to Vegas next
I don't
year or
know
the
how
year
you
after?
could ever look at this and say that Oakland did not fleece this deal.
No shit.
I don't know how you could.
Good job, Gruden.
Unless,
Good job.
Unless
Great job.
Antonio comes out next year and just is an abomination and is a shell of his former self, then there's no way that Pittsburgh doesn't look like fucking assholes.
When do they move to
Here's-
Vegas?
here's the
Do you
thing,
know?
though.
Even with all the bullshit that Antonio Brown did, because I
Yeah.
mean, they couldn't get it more than a third and fifth round pick. That's crazy.
So all right. So
and retaining his salary.
So now the question becomes what happens in the future, of course. And now we're talking about a player like Antonio Brown that is obviously incredibly talented, and he's trying to figure out everybody's trying to figure out what the problem was, right? Because we still don't have the full picture, right? I mean, Big Ben's been saying what he's
if
been
all the
saying.
stories are true, then it looks like Big Ben is really the cog in the wheel here.
So what if Antonio Brown goes over there? He goes over to Oakland. I mean, like Derek Carr's going to launch that ball. I mean, you
Derek Carr is not Ben Roethlisberger, but he's
Right,
also
but-
not Ben Roethlisberger with his attitude either.
right,
Yeah.
and I mean, well, yeah, he's humbled. His big brother
Exactly.
got crushed whenever. I mean, he was growing up below
Yeah.
his
His
brother,
big
who got
brother was on
obliterated
his
in
ass
Houston.
more than any other quarterback in the NFL.
So, all right, so you look at a team like Oakland. You've got John Gruden over there. He's been building all these picks. I've been the biggest John Gruden hater. I'm hating on Gruden like I've been hating.
I
on the
love
Lakers.
John Gruden.
dude, and I can't stand the fucking guy.
I don't like him as a coach so far,
I
but
think-
I like him just as a person.
I like him in the Corona commercials.
Yeah.
But the
Fired football coaches camp thing too. That's pretty funny too.
That was pretty funny.
Gruden's grinder.
Well, dude. Well, so first of all, I think he falls in love with players, and I think that this might be the best move I've ever seen John Gruden make. Other than giving it to
Giving
to
you guys
the Bucks.
Mario Cooper wasn't a bad idea either.
Well, I mean that worked out for us, but I mean,
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's why you like him.
Well, no. I've been throwing a lot of shade at Gruden for a solid 365
Hey.
days, and right now I'm officially on the Gruden train.
What
now,
we can
because
say-
I'll say it right now. I like John Gruden again.
Yeah. What we can say and
Wow.
what we said last
Because
year
of that.
is he's doing it his way. They gave him the money, they gave him the term,
When
and
does
they
he move
sold
to
him that
Vegas?
you can do it your way, and
Somebody
that's what
answer
he's
me
doing.
that. When do they move to Vegas? Next year?
I think it's 2 years now.
2 years
I think
from-
it's 2021.
Do you think Gruden is still the coach?
Oh,
Yes.
he's got a 10-year deal,
Yes.
man.
He's not going anywhere. They give
hired
him 5 years. I
to be
guarantee you
the
they
head
give him
coach.
5 years
I
to
think
do
you're
it.
right. I think you're right.
Absolutely.
They give him 5 years. And if they're still dog shit in 5 years, then they move on.
Well,
see,
I mean, the Chiefs
I mean,
are going to win
yeah.
the division for the next 5 years, so
But
there's that.
there's no way anybody's going to look at this deal and be like, God damn, Gruden fucked up. No.
He did a great job.
No,
I mean,
he-
like,
he
he
did.
played
I mean,
this like a champ.
Unless
Yeah.
Antonio Brown gets in a car wreck tomorrow, there's not. Yeah.
That's not Gruden's fault, though.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Right, that wouldn't be.
Hey,
Gruden's fault.
what's the worst he gave up? A third and a fifth? I'm sure.
Exactly
He gave up a
right.
third
Yeah.
and fifth. He's got about 13 different picks between the
Yeah.
first and the third rounds anyway. I mean,
Yeah.
he's.
Exactly.
I mean, the
Great
third and
move.
fifths turn out to most of the time be crapshoots anyway.
It's way too early for this.
Yeah.
It's way too early for this. But I'm not making a call. But I would not be surprised if Oakland knocks 8 games out of the way pretty easily this coming year.
I believe it.
Just,
I
just,
would-
just
I give
because.
eight.
I'd put
500.
8 as at the number over under. I'd put it at 8.
I think even, and I mean that's quite a big difference over the last few years. But anyway, I'm rambling now. But you know what I mean.
No, because we loved Derek Carr when he first was coming out. Those first couple of years, he
Yeah,
looked
man.
like
Oh,
he
yeah.
looked like the second coming. I mean, I loved him. I mean, I don't know. He's no Hank, he's no prodigal son, but
there's
I mean,
that.
He was good in college.
Of course. There's only one of those.
Hey, speaking of, you get to wear that Witten jersey a lot longer now.
Yeah,
At least one more season longer.
So okay. So
Did we talk about him coming out of retirement yet?
I don't think so.
we talked about it a little bit last time around. But so here's the thing. I love it, and I'm a little scared about it because
Okay.
I think that you're going to end up having so much attention on Jason Witten. I mean, he better be working out, man. I know he's been in the booth doing decent.
He's got good hair.
He's got good hair. He's got good.
I know his hair.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal. At the end of the day, what do you lose by him coming back? Nothing.
Because
You
we don't have a
still
tight end. I
right.
thought it was going to be what was his name?
Who was your number one tight end last year?
Well, it was like Swain and fucking.
Oh, this
what was
Swain
it? Was
guy.
it,
Didn't he have a
Rico
4-touchdown game
and,
or something?
Who was the other one? Yeah, but that was an anomaly. Who's the other one? Rico something, right? Rico.
Suave?
Yeah.
No, but whatever. There was another tight end. His name slips my mind right now. But anyway, I thought he was the next guy. I thought he was the guy. I mean, he came in. I can't remember his name right now. But I mean, he came looking really good, and he looks like shit.
Yeah.
So right now, Dallas doesn't have much of a tight end. If they bring Witten back just to kind of be the like Father Time.
Well,
they can come
if
in and just sort
if
of.
you could do what Indianapolis did, which was basically pick up Detroit scraps and Eric Ebron and turn him into the highest productive tight end last year.
But it's not like that because it's not a change in system that's going to be
I know.
benefit.
I'm just being funny because we got boned
I mean,
on that.
I wouldn't be surprised if you see highlights pretty much every other week of Jason Witten nailing down this incredible block or helping somebody.
Oh,
do
they're going to say
something.
nailing an
will.
incredible blonde.
No, he will.
I hope. I mean, is he married? Anyway. But seriously, man, I don't see more than 500 yards from this guy this year.
Nah, I mean,
it's
but
like-
you know what he's going to do? He's going to do exactly what they need him to, is just probably run a crossing route, pick up 5 yards when they
Exactly
need
And
it.
you know
Right.
why? It's
Every
because your
time.
boy
Third down and 11, he'll get
Gruden
it.
sent us Amari Cooper last year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But and you know what? And what I would love to see is one of the, even if you're not a football fan, you love this. One of the best images I have of Jason Witten is catching that ball, getting his skull rocked, and just running down rumbling and bumbling down the field.
helmet off, right?
Helmet off, nose
Yeah,
bleeding,
man.
and he doesn't give a shit.
Great
He's like,
white hope.
Try to catch me.
back,
Try to
baby.
tackle me. I'm running you over. I got the juice.
Baby, yes.
Yeah, you got the juice now, Witten.
Man, you got the juice now.
Bam.
I need some more champagne.
I would love to see that happen again. If that happened when he's 40, God bless America.
Dude, honestly, I know that we're not supposed to be spending too much time talking about the NFL right now, but
No, fuck that. We love the NFL.
I know, dude. All right, so here's one more thing. I promise this is the last thing about the Cowboys I'm talking about. But
No.
how about that video of D-Ware? I know it was last week, but D-Ware posted that video where he was like, "Man, fuck it, maybe I should come back. I've been working out, blah blah blah." Can you imagine if some shit like that happened?
Well, how
I don't
about your
see
boy?
it,
Hey,
but-
all right, if we're gonna keep chapping about the Cowboys, how about your boy Irvin smoking a blunt on his Instagram? Did any of you guys see that? He basically just
Yeah,
said,
man.
"Fuck the NFL. I do what I want."
That's awesome.
dude.
That's
'Cause he fucking
well played,
does.
sir.
And you know,
Well
and
played.
the Cowboys' defensive line has been a
Damn, how we
shit
out of
show
boots?
for the past couple of years, just off the field stuff.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. That it's just now it's like, you know what? Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Smoking this blunt. Fuck you, Goodell.
Yeah.
But I love it. I love it. I love the way he went about it.
Yeah.
But
I dig it too, and I mean he's a dangerous son of a bitch too on the field. I mean he really is. Anyway.
not anymore.
Well,
Yeah,
it was,
well.
yeah.
He done.
Hey, before we leave football, I'd like to mention the AAF.
Oh,
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh no.
There's still only one undefeated team, Orlando, the old ball coach,
Go
Steve
Apollos.
Spurrier.
Oh,
Jesus.
5-0.
Hang on.
he's
What
awesome.
is Orlando's nickname?
The Apollos.
Apollo.
The Apollos, yeah, the sun gods.
The fucking Apollos. Oh,
Apollo
man.
Are they
Creed.
playing right now?
The way
Are
they're
they
playing,
right now?
Apollo
I think they're playing right now. Dude,
Somebody's
check it out.
got to be
Hey,
playing
I
right
bet
now.
I bet they throw the
Yeah.
football clear over them mountains.
Look at those
Oh,
stands,
wait, there's no
man.
mountains in Florida,
There
is
are
there?
more people on the field than there are in the
That's a
stands.
packed
got some
stadium
hills.
right there. Shit.
All right. Wait. Over under positive play.
Oh, yeah, clearly.
Oh,
He's got room
look
for
at it.
days.
Oh, you
he
pussy.
slid,
Murray,
right,
you
seriously, you slid, Murray.
Wow. All right, moving along,
Yeah,
boys.
moving right along.
Gotta
Yeah,
keep
that's
gotta
the-
keep the ship righted here.
All right, Bob, what do you got? What do you got, Bob?
Oh, what section are we on?
Whatever
We just
Whatever
grazed
you
over an
want.
entire
All
league
I
right there.
tell
I
you
love
what,
it.
I've got some good things today, and the
Oh.
first thing I want to do is give a call out to my boy's birthday. Happy birthday, Chuck Norris!
Woo! Way to go, Chuck.
Chuck Norris' birthday. Yo, X,
Yes,
happy birthday.
that is
Hey,
the
X's
American-
birthday
Oh
was
yes,
yesterday.
Happy birthday,
and
X.
happy belated birthday, brother.
Who's Xavier?
Yeah.
Xavier, who's
You know that host we had on once?
Former panelist Xavier?
Oh no! Are you serious? These guys have to suck this bad. They're dropping snaps. The
Hank's
blocks
still
look
watching
like.
the football game.
It's AAF football.
but I mean,
Remember,
this
we didn't
football
say
is
it was
on.
Hey,
good.
you're
It's
interrupting
football.
Bob's block.
Sorry, I'm sorry, Bob. Sorry, Bob.
And it's better than Canadian football, so just deal with it. All right, I'd also, for a sport that not too many people pay attention to, but you ought to, Michaela Schifrin, who burst on the scene at the last Winter Olympics,
Fuck yeah.
is the best skier in the world now that Lindsey Vonn is retired.
Yep.
Lindsey Vohn's hot, by the way.
Super hot.
Yeah.
Super hot.
Michaela's
She's
not
dating
bad either.
PK Subban from the
That's
Nashville Predators, by the
Lindsey
way.
Vonn.
Yes. Anyway, Michaela won
No milk will ever be
had
our
the
milk.
15th win of the season, a new world record
Way
in the
to go.
slalom in Spindle Rub, Czechoslovakia.
All right. Well played,
Love,
girl.
love the Czech. They do a
Way
lot
to
of
do it,
group
baby.
sex stuff
Right?
over
Hit
there.
Exactly. The girls like it. They're good.
What, they like the spindle rub? Is that the...
Exactly. All right. I got one other thing just for shits and giggles. I was going to do on this day, and today, March 10th, really nothing happened that was fun. So I'm going to use yesterday's when I
love
thought
this
I
on
might
this
be
day
doing the
stuff.
show.
There's a good one on here that I can't wait for you to read.
Right. So yesterday, in 1862,
Holy shit.
the world's
This is
first
great.
naval
Here's a
battle
biggie.
involving ironclad warships happened. It was the USS Monitor against the CSS Virginia, and as
there.
expected, ended in a draw. The cannonballs just kept bouncing off each other, so they just had to quit
Yeah.
and go home.
All right,
and
now we're too strong
happy
for our
hours.
own.
All right,
Probably,
yeah, let's go.
probably shook hands, and everything was cool.
Let's go back and have a mead.
In 1916, yesterday, Pancho Villa invaded America with
Bob, what the
600
fuck does this
men.
have to do with sports?
This is great. No, it's coming up.
It's coming up.
Here's the best one.
He attacked a small fort in Columbus, New Mexico.
Oh.
We, of course, rallied and kicked their ass back across the border, but just, something that happened. Something that happened.
Here's what we're waiting for, boys, right here.
1991, Joe Dumars,
Joey D.
right? He played his college sports at McNeese State University in Lake Charles, Louisiana. For the Detroit Pistons, which
Holla.
is why this guy is really happy. He began an NBA free throw streak of 62 games without a miss.
Hey.
Which is incredible.
That's amazing,
That's
dude.
damn
An
incredible.
84.3%
Joey D.
shooter from
How
the
many,
stripe.
was he shooting a lot? I mean, was he getting fouled a lot? I figured
Actually, I did look that up. He averaged about 5 fouls a game.
fuck off, really?
Yeah.
Fuck
So
off.
10 shots over 62 games. He conceivably could have made 620 shots in a row.
Does he want a job or something? I mean,
Right.
shit.
Oh,
I'm
he
pretty
was
sure
the
Joey D
he
has
was
a
the
job. He
GM for
probably
the
has a
Pistons
job,
for a
I mean,
while.
Yeah, he was.
62 games without missing anything.
he-
Shaq didn't go a single game with making all of them.
Yep.
Hey, well, we love Joey D in Detroit. One thing that he's synonymous for is the brutal 2002 draft pick of Darko Milicic.
Yeah, no shit.
That draft.
Between Jordan's Kwame Brown and
Yeah.
Joey D's
that
Darko
draft.
Milicic, that was
that
terrible.
draft supplied the NBA with LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, and we took Darko Milicic, number 2.
Number 2 in the world.
Whoa.
Number
Yes.
2.
Bad decisions.
Brilliant.
Kid from Serbia that wore Band-Aids on his ears. So
God, bad idea
right.
genes right there.
you can't teach height is what they
That's
said.
great. That's
Well,
great.
Teach height.
Can't teach bad drafting either. Well, I guess you can.
That's rough.
Yeah.
That's rough.
One of the best drafts in all ever, probably. And we took Darko Milicic.
No,
number
it's
2.
like it's like Kansas City taking Todd Blackledge when Marino and fucking
Yeah, I mean,
Montana.
this was bad though because this
Yo,
is the
I've
number 2
literally-
pick. There was 10 guys that had Hall of Fame careers pretty much in that draft, and we took Darko Milicic.
Yes.
Anyway,
never
so
even heard of
I love
Blackledge
Joe
before.
Dumars. I love Isaiah Thomas. I love the
fucking
1990s,
announcer.
early 80s, early 90s Pistons, late 80s, but
And early
man,
90s Broncos.
Yeah, that was a doozy. Oh, good stuff, Bob.
Great,
Good
Bob.
stuff.
Well
I
played.
mean,
Thank
Ford
you,
Broncos,
sir.
by the way. But sorry.
What's up, Tony?
I don't know, man. What's up? How you doing?
Well, I kind of want to talk about the post-combine, jump back into
hit
football
it
a little
up.
bit.
Hit it
I
up.
want to talk about how we're out of champagne and there's a
Out of
bug in my
booze.
beer.
Well, why is the rum gone?
But why is the rum gone?
So post-combine, hey guys, the combine is in. The people kind of know who they're going to draft now. It's just kind of going to go down to the how the draft falls. But free agency starts March 13th, which I believe is Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday.
So Wednesday at 4 p.m. free agency hits, and right now top guys on the list: Trey Flowers, Earl Thomas, Le'Veon Bell. Everybody remember that guy?
Yeah.
Another Pittsburgh guy getting out
Yeah.
of
To
Dodge.
Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Another debacle. handled poorly by
Getting
Pittsburgh.
out of Dodge.
Yeah, handled poorly by Mike Tomlin, dude.
Ndamukong Suh, the serial stomper. Nick Foles. What the fuck? Nick Foles.
And Nick Foles is going to
Jacksonville is what we're
yeah,
hearing.
Jacksonville.
Yeah. Jared Cook, the tight end that kind of revitalized his career the past couple of years. C.J. Mosley, Landon Collins, Golden Tate, Mark Ingram, and Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger. He had 1 year in Houston. I wouldn't say it was a great year. I think he should have stayed in Arizona, but he showed all the promise. I think he could. He
at
could help
LSU?
another team.
Yes.
Yeah,
right?
He was
Oh
at
yeah.
LSU.
Oh yeah. He was
Honey
crazy at LSU.
He was good, by
Yeah.
the way.
He had a
Pissed
problem
me
with the
off.
reefer.
He was
Yeah, everybody
Had a
has
problem with the reefer.
Problem with the reefers.
There's no problem with the
Dude,
reefer.
There's no
Come on,
problem with the
man.
reefers.
No, I agree, but that was the problem that
Yeah.
derailed his career.
Well,
Yeah,
as
but
long
that
as-
is the problem with the reefer.
As long as
now.
we're clear that it's all bullshit. That it's,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right.
Hey,
So,
do what you
There's a
want.
lot of
All right.
other free agents, but a lot of franchise tags thrown on some
Yeah,
guys.
oh yeah,
So they're not moving
people that got
around.
franchised:
Yeah.
DeMarcus Lawrence, Jadeveon Clowney,
Yep.
Grady Jarrett, D Ford, your
Yeah,
boy,
yeah,
Mr.
Steve Ford.
Offsides
Oh,
himself,
Hey, I will say
Mr. Offsides himself.
I will say
Frank Clark?
the Chiefs just released Justin Houston today. So
Oh
that's
shit,
a-
there's another
that's
guy
a
on
big
the
one.
market.
Yep.
So,
I'm interested to see where Golden Tate goes. He didn't. I mean, he did some stuff for Philly last year, but I don't think that
He
was
did a
what
hell of a lot better on Detroit. He did.
Yeah.
He did better, at least in my fantasy.
the
team
Yak
before he
Yak
got
King.
traded. Yeah.
He's the Yak King for sure. I don't know. We'll see where he ends up. He's a 31-year-old receiver that's mostly a slot guy.
Where was he? He was in
He's
Seattle,
gonna want
he's been in
a
Detroit, he's
5-year
been all
deal.
over the
Who's
place.
gonna?
Yeah.
Is someone
He was
gonna pay him
great
$10 million a year for 5 years?
Yeah, somebody will.
Probably. A team like Jacksonville, maybe.
what do you think about Mark Ingram?
I love Mark Ingram.
I love him too. I mean, he's. I mean, I don't like him on my fantasy team.
I think he and Kamara should stay together, or Mark Ingram needs another back like
I
Kamara
think
to
they need
have
to-
that success.
I think you're fucking exactly right. I think you're exactly right.
Never happens.
Yeah, no, it can't. They can't maintain that longevity. They can't stay together that long. You know, Priest
But if they could do it
Holmes and
somewhere-
Larry Johnson. That
If they could do it somewhere, I believe they would be able to do it in New Orleans because of Sean Payton and
He's used to running a system like that, man.
Yeah,
he knows how to
and,
run a
and
system.
Drew
like that.
Brees. I mean, those guys are old school. I think they get everyone to buy into that system. They take less money to stick around, things like that.
And,
well,
and
they
he may
cool,
stay.
yeah.
Yeah.
They should have taken all their savings and paid off the refs a little bit more than the. Oh, never mind.
God
So how about this? How about this?
bless.
Earl Thomas. Where do you think Earl Thomas goes?
Hey, if he, you know what, he's proved haters wrong before. I think he could do it again coming off that injury. He basically held out. If you guys remember, he held out 4 games last year or I think it was 4 games because Seattle didn't want to give him a long-term deal.
Yep.
And then what happens is he goes out, has a great season, and shatters his leg. I think it was
Yep.
his knee or something, broke his shit, and flipped off the sideline basically on
Yeah.
his way out.
Yeah,
if you
that
guys
was
remember.
weird. That was really
You know
Because
where he's going,
that's
right?
exactly his worst nightmare coming true was they didn't get a long-term deal and he season-ending injury.
Yep.
And now he's got to come back, take less money, probably on a 1-year deal, 1 or 2, and prove his worth again.
You know
At
where he's
Oakland,
going, right?
Oakland.
No, he's going to Dallas.
No, Dallas.
Oh,
Yeah, he's going to Dallas.
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if
Thomas going to
Gruden
Dallas.
snaps him up.
That would be
With
good.
what? With what? Okay, dude, Gruden has
Gruden
a.
doesn't have to pay for Antonio Brown. Gruden's got money.
He's got a free for all in the draft. He's gonna be able to spend all his money later on, dude.
That's
it's,
true.
Dallas is known for dumping their draft picks to try to find somebody, and somebody like Earl Thomas would be perfect.
You know who's
for
going to
Dallas
have
right
money
now.
to pay him? The Giants. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go.
I fucking
East
don't like
Coast.
hearing that.
If you're Earl Thomas, why the fuck would
But
you
I'm
go
saying
to the
they're going to have
Giants,
money.
man?
If
No,
he's
if
looking
you're-
for
if you're
money,
anybody, why would you
if
go to the
he's-
Giants?
You're true.
He wants
True.
to win. Trust me. He wants
Yeah,
to
You know what?
believe
No,
it.
no. He needs to go to a place that he can practice interceptions a lot. So that would be the Giants.
There you go. Yeah. That's right.
So that makes sense.
Wouldn't
on
be
that
any
at all.
Just picking off Eli.
Yeah, all
the,
day.
the ghost of Eli. God damn, they better draft a QB this year.
Yeah, they better. They
whatever
are
they-
in trouble.
They can put me out there at quarterback.
Oh man. Hey, real quick, guys. While we're still on NFL, I'm going to jump into this. This is kind of like my last hurrah on the things I wanted to bring up, but the proposed rule changes.
Yeah.
I'll read some of them off real quick, and if you guys don't know, this is how it works. Every year, the NFL allows certain teams, any team really, to propose rule changes and submit them.
Apparently, they allowed Kansas City, Washington, and Denver to do
Yeah,
it this year.
Yeah.
there was a lot of scorned teams, we'll say that
Scorned teams,
that
damn.
had some things to say, and I'll read some real quick, and then you guys can dive into the ones you want to
New
highlight.
Orleans is more scorned than anybody.
So KC proposed that both teams will possess an OT. Not surprising because
right
they
they
lost
did.
because they didn't get to a chance to rebuttal in OT, and also they would be eliminate. They proposed that you eliminate the coin toss from OT. Mostly, I think, probably to speed up the game, and whoever won the coin toss in the opening opening kickoff would then choose if they wanted to defer or follow.
I've got to fuck that. I'm raising my hand for fuck that.
Okay.
I'm just. That's
I
just
don't
my
give a
vote.
shit about the coin toss because it doesn't matter if each team gets the ball. Who cares who gets the ball first? Yeah, I'm good. I would love.
Damn,
to
that's
see,
a really good point.
Hold on, time out. Here's the reason for
Damn,
that.
that's a good point, Tony. I don't like.
If the
being
first team
pointed
goes
back.
down and kicks a field goal, and you know they kicked a field goal, you may go for it on fourth
Yeah,
down
yeah.
to make yourself get.
It doesn't matter.
so
You at
that
least get the
touchdown
damn
and
ball
win.
back. But
I know,
that's
I
the
know.
rule.
But
That
that's-
All right, I'm back. I'm
but
back on the
currently-
other side.
but
I'm
hang
back
on,
on the
hang
other
on.
side. Tony,
That's
no,
why
I'm
they-
Hang
back
on,
with
but
Bob.
currently the rule is if
You want to know what they do.
Hold on, Bob. Hold up.
so you-
Currently, the rule is if you kick a field goal, the other team still gets the fucking ball. They get
Yes.
possession. It's not game over.
But what they're
So
saying,
that
the
thought
premise of the
process
rule
was
is
already
exactly
there.
what is everybody's greatest fear is exactly what happened. Is that New England wins the toss and marches down the field. KC, one of the best players in the game, doesn't touch the football
doesn't
in
get a
overtime.
chance to touch it.
Doesn't
You're
touch the
exactly right.
football in
That-
overtime.
that
That's
should
not
not
fair.
happen.
It shouldn't come
Wait
down
a
to a
minute.
coin
The
toss.
greatest player did Brady.
I said one of the best players in football,
All right, next rule.
which
What do you
everybody
got?
would agree last year was
Wait,
Patrick Mahomes.
real quick. Let's open this up a little bit. I mean, like we've been playing this game. We're trying to figure out what the hell to do with overtime in the NFL in football forever, right?
Good God.
I mean, so if you can think of a perfect system, whether it exists now or it's
It
something
doesn't
you can make
exist.
up. But I mean, so what's the most perfect system, right? I mean, can you think of something better?
I
than
like
this rule
college.
change?
I like college.
If
Each
if
team
you
gets
like
the ball in
points
the
being
25.
scored, if you like points
you
being
score,
scored, then
boom.
college for sure. Look at that game.
Then you
Wolves.
gotta then
Who
you
was
gotta
playing
go for
last
two
year,
after
and
two.
they went in. It was like 24-24 going into the overtime, and then it turned out to be 76-78.
Yeah,
or something.
man.
You know,
7 overtime.
Yeah, whatever the hell that
6
shit
I don't
extra
think we want
touchdowns
that.
added to the score.
Yeah, that's a
You
little
got to go
crazy.
for two after two
It's good for-
overtimes. It's great.
It's good for the guys pumping their stats, looking for contract years.
Oh,
you
it's
know?
good for my fantasy team.
Exactly.
Damn right.
All right. Well, I agree with you, Hank. It's something that needs to be addressed, and the greatest minds in the game still haven't figured it out. So the
Well, they're
perfect
sitting
system,
right here. We're trying to talk
Exactly.
about it.
They should
I
listen to us.
honestly, I
They should
like.
listen to
I don't care. I like the fact that I like. I don't think college is perfect, but I like the fact that everybody gets a shot in overtime.
Yeah.
No matter what. I like that.
So I mean, honestly, I mean, what if you just keep the damn rule we have now and dump the field goal aspect of it?
And you have to go for a touchdown.
Well, no, you just don't have field goals in overtime.
That's what I'm saying. So you basically you
Yeah.
have to go for a touchdown.
Yeah, exactly.
I like it.
I think that's
it's worth a shot.
So
But you take one of the most important aspects of the game out of it in
Yeah,
overtime.
again, that's
it's almost
insane.
like the shootout in the
Defense.
NHL. It's not perfect,
Defense.
but it's,
Well,
it's
so
Defense
this-
wins
this-
championships. You stop them before
This,
they
this,
score.
this brings us on a little bit. I don't mean to take your segue right now, but I mean this brings us on a little bit to the next rule change by Denver, the onside kick thing.
proposed as an alternative to the onside kick after scoring. So
What do they want to do? Get rid of it?
they proposed. I don't think it was a specific alternative. They don't want to be able to. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Is that what you were talking about?
Yeah. But so the AAL does
AAF.
fucking whatever, the goddamn shitty football league.
That's why
that
I'm here,
nobody
buddy.
pays attention to.
I'm here to keep you on the tracks.
So basically, they made the rule change so that instead of an onside kick, you have a 4th and 12 on your own 28, and you get it, you keep the ball.
Stealing Hank's
So
scotch.
Basically,
if I was you, I wouldn't drink that. There's a bunch of bugs in it.
Basically, you're
cocaine.
eliminating the onside kick. Basically, you're giving the team that has that's coming from behind a better opportunity.
Perhaps he'll die. He swallowed a fly.
It's basically a way to give the team that's coming from behind a better opportunity to maintain possession.
Yeah.
Is what they want to do.
Well, the NFL, if I can't find it right now, but if I remember correctly,
Which, if your team is really good and you're on the opposite side of that, you hate that. But
here,
Right.
this is a very fucking detailed rule proposal.
I
not
say
gonna
we
get
not
into it.
read that right now.
Well,
because then
here-
you're just one D4 lining up
Here you go.
offsides away
I
from
think
losing
this
a
is
game.
what it is. I'm pretty sure the NFL proposal is that you start on the 35 and you have to go. It's like 4th and 17 or something. So it's harder than the AAL's version.
AAF.
Fucking AAF.
AF.
I hate this. I hate the existence of this thing. Who starts at AA? What are they? A fucking car repair shop?
The Alliance. They're like Masons.
No, they're all recovering alcoholics.
Alliance
They're
of
all right,
American
so-
Football.
But so, what kind of impact do you think that has on the game? I mean, does it make it a more competitive game or less competitive game?
Well, because if we're talking about at a close game where you're going for an onside kick anyway, I mean sometimes the first half of a game and the second half of a game are completely dominated by opposite teams. So if the first half got out of hand and then the second half the other team is just rumbling it back and maybe they deserve a shot to get back in there. But I mean,
onside kicks
Yeah.
are for sure.
I mean,
You gotta
but
love
onside
catching those
kicks
guys
are
with their
virtually
pants down.
what I would love to see the percentage of a conversion rate on onside kicks.
It was
gotta
like
be
5 out of
10%.
30
Yeah,
this year.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
ridiculous. Dude, and so what? I mean, they just changed the rules for onside kicks where you can't. Was it? You can't stack one side or something
Yeah,
like that.
like, you
just change the fucking rule
Can't
back.
hold hands and like tackle. and-
right.
yeah.
Just
Red
change
Rover,
it back
Red
to what
Rover.
it
Put it back to where it
Jimmy,
was.
come
Put the
Exactly
fucking
right.
thing back. I mean, like just because we changed the rule before does not mean that we need to figure it about what the change was pre-rule
Exactly
change.
right.
Just put the fucking thing back.
All right.
All right.
So
What else you got?
also proposed rule changes. We could talk all day about this one, but also
It's because
proposed
it's
rule
football.
changes are review of personal foul calls. This is also proposed by Casey.
Oh, this
Yeah.
is a big one. This is
So basically, and like
This
in
would've-
college
this would've
football,
helped-
any targeting gets automatically reviewed.
Yeah, but let me ask
but
you
any
this.
personal foul call would be reviewed.
What
in this
about
scenario.
a non-call like in the St. Louis in the fucking
Yeah,
the
I don't know.
non-call?
That's a good question.
New Orleans
Yeah,
game.
that's
Sorry,
a, that's a good
what
question.
about a non-call?
That's
Is that
a-
reviewable
It will-
under this
well,
new rule
that's
change?
that comes up in the next thing, is that Washington floated the idea of all plays are subject to coach's challenge. Now this is getting down
Every
a slippery
single
slope.
play.
Every single play from scrimmage can be coach's
I mean, they
challenge.
still only get one
There's
and a half.
still two, right? You only still get two.
Yes.
One and a half.
You get one
How would
per
one
half.
get a half of a?
One per half, Hank. One per half.
What you said 11 team?
No, he's saying
I actually
he's
said
saying
one
per
and a
half,
half,
per
one
half
per
of
half.
football.
Yeah.
One per half.
So this is getting down a slippery slope. They want to speed the game up. This is going to slow the game down. But I agree on getting the calls right. I agree.
I do.
And you don't have debacles like what
Yeah.
we saw in the two conference championship
That
games
cost
last
your
year.
city $30 million. You
Exactly.
don't have that debacle.
What if during all play stoppages, all players just run to a little field on the side and play soccer for a little
I
bit?
think
Or
they should
flag
just
football?
hold hands. Yeah.
They just hold hands. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, flag football. That'd be fucking
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah. Okay. So
Takes away from the cheerleaders.
did any of you guys want to dive into that one?
I'm good.
All right. So Denver proposed that I kind of like this one, that all fourth down calls where the spot is close will automatically go to a review.
Yeah, I like that.
How are they not doing that?
That's what
already?
I'm saying.
That's
It
the
should be
question. It's
fucking
like,
obvious.
dude,
Instead
if
of the ref going like this.
The analysts are. But
Honestly,
not
this is one of
anybody
those things
Yeah.
that I've it's driven me crazy forever, and I had a problem with this in high school when I was playing football. Then it was like, how can you guys rely on guys just slapping sticks down and
We need lasers.
in a game of inches?
We need lasers.
That's literally a game of inches.
That's
You're
because
worried,
the game was invented before lasers were
you're worried about
Yeah.
you're talking about spots and guys putting their sticks down, saying this is where it is,
Yeah.
with a chain in between.
Hey man, that's how I settle territory.
I mean, like, I think that I understand the way the traditionalists, that's the way it's supposed to be, but I feel like there's a definitely more of a precision way to spot the ball.
Clearly, lasers are the answer.
CBS is making the I hate this the green area.
The
that CBS
advertising on the
yeah,
field.
yeah.
Well, not just that, but like, so from the
Oh, the yards to gain.
yeah, the yards to gain, they fill it in green and then put advertising
Yeah,
on top
yeah.
of it.
But I like this.
Can do
Denver
that,
didn't.
but we can't fucking do an accurate.
Yeah.
On the
I
field.
don't know.
It's
But
the on the
everything
field.
should
But
be
this is
Give me a
something
break.
I think this is a good one that should go through. All fourth down calls where the spot is close
Yeah, that
should
should-
go to an
that
automatic
should
review.
go.
And if you're within a foot, say.
Yeah.
If it's
Did you
within a
say it was
foot.
within a football length.
Denver
Oh, it's
proposed
Thank
this.
God.
Yeah.
Washington has never done a positive thing in the entire existence of that franchise.
Oh,
I do not
man.
want them to start now.
Yeah,
Wow.
all right. I know you're a NFC North hater,
Joe Gibbs
or
about
what are you?
East-
NFC East.
yeah,
Sorry,
East, yeah,
we're
yeah.
NFC North.
Yeah. Well,
Black
I'm
and
not.
blue-
I love.
the
Dude,
black
I've got more
and blue
respect for the
division.
NFC North than probably any other
Yeah.
division of football.
So next one is, and I think Bob, you were going to say something about this one. Is that Philly proposed that all scoring plays that are negated by a flag be automatically reviewed.
Every
agree.
scoring play is
As long as the
reviewed,
flag
so
can
this
be
is
reviewed.
redundant in
Well,
my
But
no,
no,
but
but
it's
if it's a
negated. If it gets
scoring play
negated.
that is negated by a flag.
It should be reviewed.
So if
Fuck
it's a
yeah, it should
pass
be reviewed.
interference, or you know, or
Absolutely.
any,
But-
something,
right.
a
But
holding,
can you
a holding
review-
call at the line, something like that.
But can you review the foul itself and overturn the foul in order to make the scoring play actually conform?
Well, that's
the
what they would
scoring
have to
play?
figure out. Is
that-
all right. So
yeah.
if a play gets called back because of holding at the line flag, then does the touchdown then count? Or
Yes.
it should,
Well, it
right?
should, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what they would have to figure out. But I like that because how many
like
times
too.
have we seen beautiful plays and it's
And
a
it's-
ticky tack
and then
call?
it's bullshit
Yeah.
holding or
Right.
it's
But then
bullshit
it
this, whatever,
differs
yeah.
back to does it go to who makes the call? Does it go to the head office? Does
But
it
it-
go?
but it
Does it
also-
defer back to the ref on the field?
It probably
First of
goes
all-
to the booth.
Well, it's gotta
First of all,
be reviewed.
Des
Goes
Bryant
to
caught
the
that
booth
damn
guy.
ball in Green Bay. I'm standing here. I'm saying it again. Des caught it.
He never caught that
He
fucking
caught
ball.
the damn ball.
He had it
He
for
caught
a
it.
full second.
Anyway, Guys, we're getting off track.
No, I mean,
We're like an hour long. The episode's gone for an hour. already.
I'm done. That was my last one. I like that one. I think that there's some good stuff in there. I think obviously you're seeing a couple teams that got burned by some things last year. They're obviously proposing stuff that they want to
Sour
redo.
Let's get off football. I want to talk high school hockey players' hair.
Oh,
Hey,
yes, please.
we got to do
Come
a
on,
little
man.
thing called Shenanigans this week, and I don't know, J-Rock, you got a camera you can bring over here, or we can
can
zoom
turn your
in on
thing
this.
around, probably.
That oh shit, Mike.
That dude could probably make a damn camera levitate and come over to you.
Yeah. Hey, while we're sitting here and we got a little bit of delay, let's give a shout out to J-Rock.
Yeah.
Let's do. J-Rock and Jose are both over
Production
there rocking
company,
and
thank you
rolling.
very much.
J-Rock
You
is
guys are
the
killing it
silent
today.
partner
Well played.
in this
Well
in this
played.
whole thing. He's our AV guy, and he's basically just the.
I think you could probably call him producer.
yeah, well,
He's
yeah.
holding out for producer.
No.
He's holding out for producer.
He's the
the
guy
head
that
of the
makes
AV
this
club.
all turn. But what I want to shout out here is for my weekly shenanigan is the Minnesota high school hockey team. If you guys have never seen this before, go on YouTube and look at the all-hair teams for the past couple of years. In Minnesota, they do this big tournament, and these guys, they come out with the craziest hair that you've ever seen, and I love it. And this guy, Tegan Cam, junior forward from Minnesota, let's get a shout out and let's get this.
This guy's
he's
really
on,
rocking some
he's
hair.
on ESPN for all hair team.
That is
This
brilliant.
guy with the chops, with the buzz, with the mullet.
We love it.
We love you, Tegan.
Yeah.
Way to go. Keep
Minnesota.
it up. Minaflota. We'll call
well,
it
well played,
Minaflota.
kid. Well played, kid.
All
Way
right,
too
all
close
right.
to Canada.
What do you got? What do you
Obviously,
guys got for a weekly shenanigan?
Here, hey Jay, while you're up and you got the phone going, here, tell you what, let's do this one. All right, so I want to show. This is
no.
Weekend whoopsie.
This one is for this one is for kind of this was personalized for my buddy Jay Cano over at Harrison's Landing. I just want to give him a little bit of a personalized shenanigan because this is his boy LeBron, and I've been hating on LeBron this whole time. But check this out. Everybody, I wish I could slow this down, but check this out. Look at this. LeBron's got the ball. All right, so
Tilt it up.
I
Tilt it up. You can't see it. There we go.
But check this out. Look at LeBron trying to pass the ball. He's pissed off. Throws it at the backboard. Backwards.
Good pass. Great pass, buddy.
Throws it directly at the backboard. The ball proceeds to fly back toward his face, and I thought that was goddamn hilarious.
brilliant.
Because I mean, I think that's basically the Lakers season in a nutshell right there.
Yeah.
Is trying to do one of the most basic things ever.
I'm sorry that
fucking
we've bagged on the Lakers so hard.
It's not we. You can put that on me.
Yeah, I don't agree with it, but I do see the humor in. They went out and they got LeBron. They've drafted Lonzo, whose dad has just been a debacle. You could see that was going to
that's a
happen.
problem with
That
that
whole
kid.
Ball family is a joke. I'm sorry if you're
they are.
fans of them, but I actually kind of feel a little bit bad for LeBron, and I never thought I'd say that. But
I do too.
I think
I'm a Lakers fan,
he's done
so
every. I think
I'm
I don't
hating it.
think that he's not without fault, but I think he's done a hell of a lot to try to make that team better, and
He's trying.
It's just fallen
happening,
short.
yeah.
Like,
It's
it's
a
bad season.
not
It's a
his
regrettable
fault,
season,
But
yeah.
he is an
It's
easy
not his fault,
identifiable
yeah.
factor to look at. You know.
yeah.
That is
But I think he went there, and it's only his first year into a 4-year deal, but it wasn't a good one.
No.
So, what else we got?
next year better.
Are we wrapping up?
I think we need to wrap up. I got no come on man moment. I got no shenanigan moment. I watched the Duke Carolina game.
Tony,
I saw
your hair
Duke-
is a shenanigan
I
moment.
know it. I saw two Duke players get hurt in that game, both with knee injuries. Freaking Zion's out. I was like, come on, guys, just don't get hurt before the tournament.
Yeah.
You don't have to play this game as hard as you have to play the next 6. Stop.
Yeah. The March Madness. God, I can't wait.
God, next week
wait.
is going to be a
It's gonna be-
great
Why aren't we
show,
in Vegas?
folks.
Let's start broadcasting
Great
from
show.
Vegas during March Madness.
Yeah, let's do that.
You know, I mean, we really
We
do
just
need
quit
to
our
broadcast
jobs?
from an AAL fucking F.
AAF.
At this point, I'm just going to say L. I mean, we really should
Well, that
do
would
it
be
eventually.
San
But
Antonio.
dude,
That's our
a March
closest
Madness
place.
episode with a TV setup or something. Let's go somewhere and do it.
Yeah, I'm in.
Yep.
All right, boys and girls, that is our episode, episode 7. If you tuned in this whole time, God bless you. We'll keep doing this, and I swear to God, we're gonna get the times and dates dialed in. We'll be at the same time. We'll be consistent every single time. We're still figuring it out. We're new. We're yo-yos. We're figuring it out. So we like to drink and we like to have fun. And we like that you guys still watch us. So,
But again, next week we're doing it at 5 o'clock for the selection show. So
yeah.
you know,
And next
yeah.
week's St. Patty's Day, so give us a break.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, so please.
So
give us a
Either
break.
that or come down and get fucked up with us.
Yeah. So, and in closing, I want to shout out to Bobcat Wines.
Yeah, buddy.
Bob's Personal Wines. If you want
my
some,
bottle,
if you
baby.
want some, let us know. Lorelei Brewing, love you guys. I'm repping you
Launched
guys
the
today.
Maple Bird dude, this weekend.
Jason
with Lorelei.
Witten and the Exchange.
Bill fucking Murray.
Chef Tony's hair,
And Bill fucking Murray.
everybody else. Thank you guys. Peace. Hey, tune in next week. We love March Madness.
Good show, guys.
Yeah, buddy. All right.
You should have jumped in.
Jumped in and said that at the very end. You hooded figure.
I love how X walks up, gets right in front of the camera, and then goes fucking with his back to the camera. He goes, "Can I jump in?"
On a fast break, right? He didn't get the ball, and so what did he do? His guys went to give him a high five, and he just went. He was like,
ignored him?
He was clearly pissed off. He ignored him.
That's wrong.
King James, the king might not be wearing all that many clothes this year round, huh? Is that what it sounds
I
like?
don't feel bad for